New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.
What's going on? This is Jay Ellis for the Nick of Time Show, here to give you that Knicks talk just in the nick of time, and it's time to talk about a Knicks win. That's right, a Knicks win. The Knicks just beat the Raptors 116-94, and we did a lot of our work in the first quarter, leading the Raptors up 24 in the first, and we had contributions from everywhere. Josh Hart gives you 20 points, 7 assists, and 12 rebounds on the night. Karl-Anthony Towns gives you 22 points and 8 rebounds on the night. Jalen Brunson, our captain, has 18 points, 7 assists, and 6 rebounds. Damn, these guys are rebounding right now. We have Deuce McBride, Deuce, who gives you 14 points and 5 rebounds with 2 assists. Clarkson gives you 13. Mitch has 15 rebounds and 7 of those are offensive. And Mikal Bridges gives you 14 with 2 steals and 2 blocks. The Knicks out-rebounded the Raptors and gave you 25 offensive rebounds on the night. And the Knicks, we move right into second place, man. We're in second place in the East. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? 4 in a row. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Oh, yeah. The Knicks are rolling. The Raptors have fallen. Emmanuel Quickly's homestead is spoiled. His homecoming is spoiled, and we're going to talk about it all, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Before we talk about that all, I'm going to introduce you to my peoples. First and foremost, it is the Latin assassin, ESPN contributor, posting and toasting contributor, my guy Lee Escobedo. Was good, Lee.
Jay Ellis, Ryan G. I'm going to start the show with a hot take. Thought about this in the first quarter. Jay probably always reads my mind, probably knows where I'm going. Listen, y'all. Deuce McBride is the new Dante DiVincenzo.
I didn't know where he was going with that one.
My guy has become one of the best snipers in the NBA, one of the best screen navigators in the NBA, one of the best point of attack defenders in the NBA. All things that Dante DiVincenzo brought to us in a starting role. To me, Deuce McBride has made the case, once everyone's healthy, to be the starting 2 guard for the New York Knicks.
Now, that is actually a conversation to be had we can hold for later. But I do agree. He's an elite 3-point shooter at this point. Everybody who was worried about his 3-point shooting last season, are you dumb? That's what I was thinking in my head when people was worried. I was like, are you dumb? You know, the last year he was shooting 40% for 3, and that season he was injured. He was nicked up. He was always coming back from some type of injury. I knew something was wrong, and now he had a whole season healthy and a time to work on his game. He is back to elite status and growing even better than his best season before. Starting off the game, 4 or 5 from 3, giving the Knicks a hot start. Deuce McBride is the real deal. For real. And of course, you already know, man. I got to introduce you to my next guy. It is the man, the myth, the legend, the guy with the stats and the facts.
Ryan G's in the building. Deuce is definitely the real deal. And I'm just glad to see another Knicks win and then moving to second in the East. Let's go.
Yeah, man. Let's get to it. And we might as well go with the Deuce. We started with Deuce already. Deuce has been phenomenal. Like I said before, he had a game where he shot perfect from the 3-point line. Then the next game, he shot damn near perfect, shooting a 3 from the logo. He has multiple games where he had clutch 3-point shots. His defense is out otherworldly and out of this world. He's added a mid-range pull-up to his game, and he does that contested as well. He had a nice bounce pass to Yabu today. And although he didn't really score in his second quarter, he didn't really need him to do that. And he did a lot of his damage in the first quarter. But it's like he has a case. Deuce McBride has a case to start for sure. When we were calling for him to be a starter on his team, this is what we kind of envisioned, that guy who's going to be that release valve in that space for Jalen Brunson when he gets double teams. And you dare sack off him a little bit and you will get punished. And that's exactly what we're seeing today. Dude, the ultimate floor spacer, the ultimate point of attack defender, doing his job with the Knicks uniform in the Knicks uniform today.
100%. And this is a great episode to be able to give him his flowers. This channel has been one of the few channels. There are a handful of others that advocated early last season for Deuce McBride to be the bona fide starter at the 2-guard spot because he checked all the boxes that Tom Thibodeau wanted from that role, right? Someone who's strictly catch and shoot, someone who is stationed out in the corners, and someone who can guard the point of attack. This year under Mike Brown has trusted him with even wider responsibilities and more freedom in that starting position. But it doesn't mean that the things that got him where he is, that took him from a second-round pick to a starter-level player, have dissipated at all. You know, my main man, Raw Hebrew, always says that there's a couple of players who don't go to his channel in disrespect. One of them is Mitchell Robinson. Another one is Deuce McBride. Why? Because the man knows ball, as do the people on this channel. Deuce McBride is someone who's homegrown. That matters to all of us. Ryan G pointed that out earlier. But also he is someone we have seen improve on both ends. He came in dog-eyed defender, but we didn't know he could be the best string navigator on this team. What does that mean exactly? That means no matter who we play, he is someone that is never a liability at that 2-guard spot because of his ability to navigate the pick and roll on the perimeter, but also be able to switch on to damn near anyone. The knock against him, we've heard it always, even be the motivator, has had the knock too small of a backcourt. But Deuce plays bigger than he is. Ryan and I have discussed this. When we saw him switch on multiple times to Brandon Ingram tonight and lock him up, and then not only does he lock him up, but his defensive IQ is so smart. He knows how to hedge and position his body so that when that double comes, it's the perfect triangle to cut off the passing valves and to force Brandon Ingram to have to put a shot up and not have any space to put the ball on the floor. Those are really smart things you see from only elite defenders, the Manu Ginobili's, the Bruce Browns, those type of guys. Deuce is one of those type of guys. So a combination of being able to switch 1 through 4, combined with string navigation, combined with ball hog point of attack defense, makes him an absolute dog defender. And then that 3-point shot, Jay Ellis, that makes him Dante DiVincenzo. Because now you're not just depending on him to be the bailout option or a catch and shoot or one of the guys crashing the corners. He can actually be the initiator of action. And if he has what he perceives as a mismatch, he can put the ball on the floor, create his own space, sidestep, side back, relocate. Bro, that with the 45 cuts, the curl, and the curl it onto the perimeter, all of that has made him, to me, a candidate for most improved and a bona fide starting 2-guard moving through the season.
Well said. Well said. Especially the part about being able to guard bigger guys. And I conceded that last season when he was. I seen him numerous of times just be put in the post, and I'm throwing my hands up like, oh man, it's over. He's gonna score right over him, and he calls a deflection, pulls a chair over him, calls a turnover from his IQ and just his active hands. Like, he is a damn good defender. Like there's a few defenders who are undersized who can still affect the game even though they're undersized. I think like Alec Caruso is one of those guys. I think Draymond Green is one of those guys. Like I feel like Deuce can start to move in there if he gets more reps. But he has to guard more taller guys more consistently for me to put him in there consistently and like head and shoulders above all those guys. But I think more reps, if we give the opportunity, we might be saying that. We might be saying, "Oh, there's a 6'6" guy on Deuce," so we might be saying that. But we'll see. We'll see how this goes. We'll see how the season goes.
Yeah, definitely. With Deuce, I definitely agree with Lee that he's played himself into a starting two guard role. My hesitancy for putting him into the starting lineup early in the season was because just by, convention, I wanted a bigger backcourt, somebody, that can match up with bigger 2 guards, bigger wings, and things of that nature, which is why early in the season I advocated for Mitch to be in the starting lineup along with Cat, OG, Bridges, and Brunson. But as the season's gone on and And I think the injuries of OG and Shamet was a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
Because that allowed other players to step up in their roles and show us what they can do in those roles. And with those injuries, especially with Shamet going out, Deuce was inserted to the starting lineup as a 2 guard, and he's playing spectacular. He's playing excellent on both sides of the ball, and he's showing his value. You know, I've always known that Deuce can guard bigger players, but, you know, I always thought that, you know what, the bigger backcourt is always safe. And then on top of that, you know, you have Deuce come off the bench where he could be a weapon against other team second units, but he's showing that he is definitely a starting caliber guard, and that even if the opposing team's backcourt is bigger, he can still hold his own on the defensive side of the ball. And I'm just thinking about how the defense shored up once Deuce was inserted into that shooting guard role, because before that, the Knicks were getting killed, especially point of attack. And then once Deuce was inserted into the starting lineup, all of a sudden the defense just shifted, and the defense looking great now. And can you imagine now with Deuce in the starting lineup, and then when OG comes back healthy, how the defense is going to look? The defense is going to look even crazier. Yeah. So, you know, Deuce has definitely stepped up. He was a flamethrower in the first quarter. He's pretty much the main reason why the Knicks were able to even increase the lead so much in the first quarter, because like dude couldn't miss. And then I love the fact that, especially Josh Hart, it seemed like every time he had the ball, he was trying to find Deuce over for that 3-point shot, and Deuce was just nailing them. So, you know, you have to definitely give Deuce his props. He had a beautiful game tonight on both sides of the ball.
Oh man, you know what's funny? Because we over here, we're advocating for Deuce to be a starter on the New York Knicks. Coming into the season, I had enough of Josh Hart as a starter. I wanted him on the bench. I was like, I'm so tired of this dude and his bad defense and his hesitancy to shoot. But now, if you're going to be honest with yourself, you're looking at these games where OG Anunoby is out. Josh Hart has been one of the best players on the team. Josh Hart has probably been the second best player on the team for the last 3 or 4 games, if you really think about it. With his shooting, his defense, he's had like 3 steals a game for the last 3 or 4 games in a row. The rebounding has been crazy. He's defending freaking Giannis Antetokounmpo and getting the best of him while scoring 19 points and multiple rebounds and 7 assists. So, like, even with my love for Deuce McBride, it would be crazy if you didn't even consider Josh Hart as well because of everything he does. I know as a fan of basketball and a guy who watches how teams are usually constructed, usually that 2 guard is a quick trigger catch and shoot 3-point shooter.
My man knows ball,
which is why we liked Dante DiVincenzo in that role, which is why I advocated for Deuce in that role, which is why Shamet was in that role when he was healthy. But at the same time, Josh Hart does so much that the coach and other people might think about the unconventional starting 5, especially because when you're looking at games like today, where the Raptors are begging him to shoot the ball, he's shooting the damn ball. He hit multiple 3-point shots today when left open purposely, and he still is giving you the rebounding, and he's still giving you the assists. I think he might have had like 6 assists by halftime. Josh Hart did, and his motor is just off the charts. This is a great freaking problem to have. This is a great freaking problem to have for people who like me, who was a little bit nervous when OG Anunoby went down. It is such a luxury to have multiple people stepping up on the defensive end at the same time, to the point where you're just like, damn, well, you can start too. We got 9 starters on this damn team. This is a championship team. When you got 8 and 9 people who can start, when your best player, who was a plus 23 in the entire NBA, 4th in the league before he went down, when he goes down and we can still keep going and not miss a beat, that's a championship team, man. This is making me excited.
I want to, first of all, my man JLS knows ball. absolutely 100% nail on the head with the prototypical way that rosters are built. Let me rephrase that. Championship rosters are built. That 2-dart spot is absolutely a quick trigger 3, which is why I advocate for Deuce and Bride, because what he showed tonight, that is the foot on the neck that we've been missing since Dante DiVincenzo left, is someone who will be relentless in volume shooting at a high clip. To have that gives you that edge where you're not clawing back at the start of a second quarter because either the first was tied or after the first you were down. That's not going to happen with Deuce, because even the threat of him wide open is going to keep guys more honest in terms of their defensive instincts, which allows more single coverage beyond him on the weak side. So to me, you got to start. Josh Hart has been hitting his threes, but he's on a volume 3-point shooter. You can't depend on him in the same way. So you never want to compromise really being 5 out to start the first 5 minutes of a game. Do it with Deuce and Bride and allow him to be that quick trigger. However, there's one caveat. Now, this works for Josh Hart being on the bench, but there is one thing that I have been extremely impressed by Josh Hart and Mikal Bridges, and that is the double teams. Josh Hart last year, I thought, was one of the weakest double team in terms of decision making. Even to start this season as well, I was like, we talked about it here on the show. Josh Hart, why are you hedging on that? Why are you giving help when help is not needed? And the man you're helping has his guy under control. And the last 4 or 5 games, it's been a completely different story. His decision making on when to send an extra himself on the ball and when not to, but also knowing when to strip himself off that double and get back to his man and close out on the 3-point line has been immediate, and it's been really high IQ. And also Mikal Bridges, and I think this has been a conscious effort, because I don't know if you guys caught it. Then it was a third quarter. Jalen Brunson missed the double. He was kind of just staying there and watching Emmanuel quickly in the paint when crashed to the rim when Mikal Bridges was laying down under there, and he yelled at JB. He was like, "You got to help." And as the camera cut away, they were arguing with each other, walking back to the bench. And I was like, Mikal Bridges has become the voice of reason and the loud voice of leadership on the defensive end of the ball and calling out coverages and demanding where guys should be. And he sets the tone through his actions. That is the first modicum of what a double looks like as Bridges. And following suit to me is Josh Hart. They have become a deadly duo, and I loved the Deuce and Bridges double teams on Brandon Ingram too, especially on the perimeter. Bridges' ability to play with gaps is elite. It is first team all defense, elite ability at playing the gaps. And him and Deuce had Brandon Ingram in fits tonight.
Jail.
Exactly. Absolutely. So to me, there's a case for both. But I think that what Josh Hart can bring, he can also bring on the bench. You need that quick 3 to start the game with Deuce and Bride, the 2.
Go ahead, Ryan.
No, I mean, definitely, I do. I definitely agree with what both of y'all are saying. I do agree that you need a quick trigger at 3 at the 2, so Deuce McBride makes more sense. But I do like the fact that, and I mentioned this in the previous post game as well. You know, late game situations, you basically have more than 5 players that you can play in those late game situations because of their decision making when they have the ball in their hands. And I was like, that might cause Mike Brown a conundrum, because it's like, you know, who do you play in that last 5, you know, when it comes to crunch time. So the fact that we have so many players that can, you know, handle the ball, facilitate the ball, make good decisions, make good defensive reads, etc., it's a great problem to have, because you know, and most championship teams, they have players that come off the bench that could start for other teams in the league. I mean, look who's coming off the bench for the Knicks right now. Like, you have Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson definitely has the talent to be a starting center in this league, and he's coming off the bench. You have guys like before you had McBride coming off the bench, but he's proven to be a starter. I'm hoping that he keeps his starting position. But before, he was a bench guy, and he has starting talent. So I mean, you have a bunch of players on this team that has starting talent come off the bench, and it just goes to show you that, you know, the Knicks are pretty much built to make that run. The only question now is, you know, as the season goes on, you expect them to improve and things of that nature, and then it's like, okay, can they put it all together and become that near perfect unit when it's necessary to where they can make that final jump to winning a championship? But as of right now, the way the team is constructed, the Knicks definitely have a championship team that have multiple guys that can start for a lot of teams in the league.
Yeah, versatility for sure. This helter skelter cast of players that has been put together for these last stretch of games. The lineup of Jalen Brunson, Deuce McBride, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, and Karl-Anthony Towns are plus 28 so far. I mean, that's not plus 28, plus 2. I'm sorry.
Oh,
plus 2.8. Plus 28 went crazy. Plus 2, plus 2.8 plus so far. Plus 28. Averaging 127 points per game. And giving up 124, it seems. Okay. Winning team is doing his thing without OG Anunoby, who's been our most impactful player on his team so far. I want to get your thoughts, Ryan, though. Like, you didn't choose, man. If you had to choose between Josh Hart and Deuce, who do you want to start? I ain't hear you pick one.
No, I did mention it in the beginning. I was like, I understand that, at the 2 guard, you need that quick trigger 3. So I was saying that Deuce would be my preference because I think, looking at it from like what lineup seems best, I think with Deuce being inserted into the starting lineup, not only does he provide that quick 3, but he also provides defense at point of attack. So ideally, you would want to keep Deuce in there in the starting lineup. And of course, when OG comes back, I think a lineup of Cat, OG, Bridges, McBride, and Brunson would be the way to go, just based on defense. And you have 5 out. All guys can shoot the 3, and I expect that team to give fits on both sides of the ball.
Now the other question is like, I know a lot of people were saying, as far as the 2 guard shooting, Shamet is the best probably shooting 2 guard on the team. Is that still the case today?
No. I think Deuce is the better shooter now, and I think Deuce has. But I've always had this complaint about Shamet, and this is what differentiated him from Devo. But that McBride has this element; he can shoot with defense draped over him. He can shoot with no space. Deuce McBride, that is. Shamet needs to have some space between him and the defender. If he's crowded or he's doubled on a blitz, he has trouble. He did still release it, but he has trouble being accurate under those circumstances. What I have seen from Deuce this season, dude, he is a clone of Dante DiVincenzo's movement shooting, volume shooting, relocation shooting, all of it, and shooting with no space. So to me, and I've seen in the playoffs too, I had to lean toward Deuce McBride as our best shooter now for our perimeter rotation.
It's funny. I feel like Shamet is the quicker release. I do feel like Deuce, he's more accurate to me with the defense on him. I feel like I've seen him shoot more contested 3s.
That's the word I was looking for.
Than Shamet. Yes. And I've actually seen him shoot 3s off the dribble with pressure.
You said it better
than me. Doesn't happen a lot. But I think this stretch is Deuce is kind of starting to run away with the best shooter on the team moniker. Karl-Anthony Towns, man. What do you got? What are you gonna do about that, Karl-Anthony Towns? What are you gonna do about that?
Best shooting big man ever in the league. He gotta get his act together from 3-point range, because that 3-point shooting ain't looking pretty at the moment. He gotta step it up.
What about that Cat game though? Because Cat had an interesting game. Like, if Cat's game was a Drake meme, the first quarter would be, and the second quarter would be, I mean, the first half would be this, and the second half would be,
that's fun, right? I mean, if you don't have it one way, you would want him to have a better second half than first. And I agree with Nick Yak. I liked when we went double big. I kind of liked that Mike Brown took a while to get there too. He was going with what was working, which was small ball. I saw some lineups today I hadn't seen, I think, ever. in the second half when he had Brunson, Deuce, Bridges, Cat, and Mitch. I don't think I've ever seen that lineup specifically out there. There might have been another one I had never seen either, but that one, I was like, I don't know if I've seen this. And it proved to be pretty efficient, especially on the boards, because at that time they had Scotty Barnes out there playing to 5, and we were absolutely killing them. I've also seen it. I think it was Nityak that said we can't beat Orlando with the small ball lineup or 5 out. I don't know. If Mitch is still healthy, I think we can, because we balance out the looks depending on who they have out in the court. Goda is not the interior defender that Wendell Carter Jr. is, but Wendell Carter Jr. is a better 3-point shooter and floor spacer than Goda is. So it's about matchups, in my opinion. And I think we have the personnel to match up with them. And Toronto might be small at center with Podol out. They're still huge everywhere else, though. Pause. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, all of them are long, rangy wings. But they have that galore, and they have some pretty damn. They have some guys that have been playing good in the damn season, like Mobo, who didn't even get off the bench barely except in garbage time. So they're a deep squad. There's a reason they were on a 9-game win streak. They play vicious defense. They're a very smart, well-executed team.
Yeah.
To me, tonight was a talent differential. We just simply had more talent and we had more shooting. But man, they're like sidelines, out of bounds plays are high IQ. Their lineups and rotations are high IQ. Their commitment to defense and their defensive principles, win the double. They're switching on the perimeter, all very high IQ. To me, I saw a very good defensive potential roster out there, and it gets even better when RJ Barrett is in that rotation, because he's had his best defensive career and his best defensive year in his career this season. So I like defensively what they have. I think they're a tough team to score on because of their ability to switch at any part of a court. So this was a win because we just had more talent, and that's with OG Anunoby out with injury and Shamet out with injury. That just shows how deep we are.
No, I agree. Like OG Anunoby changes things for us. Also, this kid Boyles. Well, me and Lee was talking about him before we got in the game. That dude is a dog. He is scary. And we already know Scotty Barnes defensively is a beast. You saw what he was doing to Cat in the first half. Like, he's no joke,
man.
And then you add She with it as well. Like, this team is no joke in general. Like, they're not a team who gives up the amount of threes they do. Like, they're one of the best 3-point defensive teams in the league. So for us to do what we did in that first quarter, or first half, mind you, was no small feat. And honestly, too, we still created some open threes in that second half. It just didn't fall. And we ended up finishing at 35%. But like they're no joke. They're no joke. They're missing some players. We're missing some players, but they're no joke as well. And I do feel like I know we was really emotional over that Orlando Magic loss. We need OG to play Orlando. There's no getting around it.
Yes,
we need OG. We can't. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, all I was gonna say is that I think people got to remember about that Magic matchup. The 2 games that the Knicks faced the Magic, OG wasn't in either of those games. So although the Magic did beat the Knicks in both games, we still have to see what the outcome would be with OG back. That's number one. On number 2, the Raptors are an excellent defensive team. I definitely saw a good defensive team tonight, but again, when it comes to great defense, what beats great defense is great ball movement, because the ball's going to always move quicker than the man, and I think that's what the Knicks did tonight. They moved the ball exceptionally well, which had the Raptors never really had a chance to have a set defense in that first quarter, because the Knicks were moving the ball around and had the Raptors having to recover everywhere, and the Raptors couldn't recover everywhere because the ball's moving so quick. What got the Raptors back in the second quarter is because the Knicks made it easy for them to play defense, because all of a sudden the ball movement stopped. They started to be hesitant on the offensive side of the ball. There was little movement, and because of that, when players are stationary and they're trying to like decide on what to do and they're not quick with their movements, the defense is able to get set and the defense is able to lock in to where it makes it difficult for that team to score. And the Knicks were taking a lot of shots where it's like either end of the shot clock shots or just forcing up shots that are not there. So that's what helped the Raptors to get back into the game. But the Knicks got back to moving the ball in the second half, and then that's why they were able to increase their lead as time goes on. Yes, fatigue played a factor as well, because the Raptors played the previous night, and you already know when a team plays back to back, that second game is always going to be tough. And they already had to fight back from 20 plus down early, so that contributed as well. I think that the Knicks have to just keep this in mind as well. Like, when you stay stationary and you're hesitant to make a decision on offense, teams can lock in on you defensively, and then that's going to help them get back into the game, because Raptors is such a good defensive team, and then on top of that, they're good in the fast break. That's what they do. They play good defense, create turnovers, and then just hit the fast break and just hit teams quick and fast. So, that's really allowed the Raptors to get back into the game. I think if the Knicks just kept their ball movement throughout the game, this game would have been probably 30, 40 point blowout, and the Knicks would have had their starters on the bench from the end of the third quarter.
Jay, can you hit the gunshots? My man Ryan has never had a bad tape. I've been on this show for 4 years. Damn it, this is why I watched tape of this man when he was gone for last season. This man has never had a bad tape on this podcast. Now, granted, he doesn't swing too hard, right? He doesn't try to go for the homer every time. There's very rarely does it have the hot tape. But damn it, he's never had a bad one. Listen, bro, kudos to you, man. You see the game in a really smart way. I want to give you some flowers after an excellent monologue, because I see the chat going off in support of what you said as well. So kudos, bro. Well said, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Now and Ryan G is right. That second quarter, I was getting really frustrated with the movement, but really, what really was pissing me off was I feel like we started to get a little bit human. We started to lose our killer instinct. This team is a team that is one of the best fast break teams in the league, and we failed to get back on defense in multiple times in a row, and we let them back in the game. We had a 25-point lead in the game, and usually when your bench comes in, they're supposed to maintain or extend the lead. And our bench kind of let us down a little bit, led by Karl-Anthony Towns, who didn't really score in that first half. I think it was like Karl-Anthony Towns. I think it was like Towns, Kolek, McBride, and I can't remember who else was. I think it might have been Yabu too. I'm not sure. I'm trying to remember who was in the game at that time. But the second unit kind of really let us down, which is why I was kind of really happy in the second half, when I felt like a lot of the second unit is the reason why we started to go on that run. Like you said before, the double big lineup was really good with Mitch and Cat. We started to really dominate the boards. Cat started to really just go inside and punish people with 2 or 3 people over him, getting a multiple and ones. And on top of Cat just playing better offensively in the paint, I think the biggest thing that I appreciated from Cat this game was his composure level, because I feel like he was getting smacked. He was getting foul calls against him. Yes, you still heard the foul. Like, you heard it.
Yo.
You heard it. But I feel like this is the least amount of complaining I've heard Cat complain in, like, since he's been in New York, for real. And there was a few players, oh damn, he has a beef right here, but he just kept playing. So I feel like he's been working on his composure, and he regained it in that second half, and it resulted in multiple offensive rebounds and ones.
Well done, my zesty brother. Well done.
Don't you ever call me your zesty brother again.
No, not you. I'm talking to Cat.
Okay.
That's my zesty brother.
Okay.
Not you, bro. That's why you're ruining up for one zesty guy on the pod. Not two.
Oh my God. Oh man.
You just lost 80 watchers.
Oh man. Oh, probably gained 1 subscriber. Anyway,
Cat. Oh man.
But yo, good game by Cat.
Yeah,
in general, who's been kind of getting roasted on Knicks Twitter for not performing well in big games, and he had 22 points today with 8 rebounds and 2 assists.
Yeah, he hustled his ass off for sure. Used his mentality to, I think, as you said, in a smart way, not a clumsy, overpowering way that ends up getting into offensive calls and makes it easy for the refs not to give the Knicks the advantage. And he should. I mean, damn it, there's no big man on their roster right now. Although I also thought he did a good job most of the game in rotation on, I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name, Sando, whatever. That dude's sneaky good, man. I watched him against the Hornets last night. He had a good game the last time we played Toronto as well from 3, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
He's having a good season. He doesn't look like he's a good NBA player, but he actually is a good NBA player. He's got a heater arm on him from a 3-point line, and he's pretty crafty underneath too. So he was the one guy I was worried about cooking Cat, and he didn't. I thought Cat did a pretty good job of keeping him from putting the ball on the floor and having an easy face-up look at the basket. He made him have to pass out at the elbow. So kudos to Cat, man. Decent defense.
Yeah, like it's funny. I feel like Cat's defense this year has taken a step up in general. There's been a few games though where he'll revert to not closing out on threes. Like I feel like the Hornets game, I want to throw something at the TV when he didn't close out. For sure. Yeah, he was definitely a liability in the Hornets game. But there's been less of those games lately. Hopefully it stays that way because we really need help on the defensive end. For sure. And I seen Timmy say that he feels like Josh Hart would play better versus Magic now with a defined role. As good as Josh Hart is playing, I still feel like Wagner is a different beast. I just don't see him holding him like that. Like I know he did a great job versus Giannis, but Giannis is like a different animal. Like if you do your work early with Giannis, you can keep him from shooting. But you can't do that with Wagner because that's the big difference. Like you can do your work early with Wagner and he'll get you in the mid-range and he'll just rise right over you and shoot. And that's the biggest difference between him and Giannis, even though Giannis is the MVP and the overall better player. Like you can't, that same defense you put on Giannis is not going to work on Wagner, which is why I say we need OG Anunoby for that matchup.
You took my take. Yeah,
definitely.
Franz, he knows how to put you on his hip and then just kind of maneuver with a little bit of a snake dribble in that mid-range area and do that pull-up fadeaway.
Yeah,
cash money. Josh Hart ain't stopping that. No one, not even OG stopping that. That's what makes Franz so damn good.
Funny enough, Diawara stopped that, but he just had 4 turnovers, so the coach pulled him out the game. and I'm dead serious. Maybe not. No, he really had he was the only guy who actually got a block on Wagner one-on-one. But like as soon as he got the block, he panic dribbles and turns the ball over. So this is like it's just fact. It's just fact. He got but yeah, I digress.
The chat is questioning you saying that Hart did a good job on Giannis when he had 30 and 15. I know what you mean because they actually made Giannis a jump shooter. They forced him into taking jump shots and he bricked them all. And if he's taking jump shots, that brick is going to be a long rebound, which then does what? It puts us into transition. So I thought the game plan was excellent. I thought giving single coverage to Giannis and Hart defending him as he did allowed everyone else like Deuce and Mikal or whoever else was not guarding him to be able to play the passing lanes and just hit steals, which then leads to transition. So I thought he did a good job on Giannis.
Now Giannis is Giannis. He's going to get his. And so I understand why people say, oh, he got 30 points. Giannis is Giannis. He got 30 points. But what I want to challenge y'all to do is look at the important points in the game and then ask yourself, did he do a good job in the important points in the game? Because when it got to the fourth quarter, where he had to make a play, you didn't see Giannis make a play. And that's when Josh Hart was fronting him. He was pestering him. He wasn't allowed to get into that turn and drive thing. He was forcing him to pass the ball to shooters, and then the shooters weren't delivering once he passed the ball. So, yes, he's going to get his. He didn't shut Giannis down because nobody is. But in important moments of the game in the fourth quarter for the last, I say 5-minute stretch or so, you didn't see Giannis go off, and that's what I'm really talking about, not like the entire game.
Yeah, and I think you saying that shows importance to people needing to actually watch the game as opposed to just looking at stats and being like, oh, a player had 30 and 15, so, that player didn't do a good job, and that player because that player dominating and this and that and blah, blah, blah. But basketball is a game of stops. You know, it doesn't matter whether a player goes off on you for like 30, 40 points in a game. What matters most is, can you make that stop when it counts? And that's what Josh Hart did on Giannis. He made those stops on him when it counted. So, Giannis had a great game, 30-15. We know that. And I think he had 8 assists as well. We know that. But at the end of the day, when it mattered the most, that's when Josh Hart stepped up and Giannis was not effective late in the game for the Bucks, and that's all that really matters.
Yeah, and the team stepped up in general. Shout out to Timmy. He said the team defense. The team stepped up in general. Josh Hart helped main the helm as the main defender, but like the team also did a good job of helping and recovering in those situations as well.
Also, before anyone in the chat corrects me, I know it's Giannis. I'm dyslexic, bro. I'm gonna say Giannis. I'm gonna butcher a lot of names, including my own. So the one thing I won't butcher is BBL. So don't worry, y'all.
Oh my gosh, I can't even. I butcher plenty of names, and I'm taking over Ebony's role, I guess.
but you know what though? I give Lee a lot of credit because he is very self-aware that he did not even try to pronounce Sanjo's last name because last name is crazy.
It's crazy. I don't think there's a single vowel. I think it's all consonant. SNYMNK.
Do you know what that means? Okay. Oh man. Speaking of hard hats of the game, you gotta give the hard hat in Tim's today to Mikal Bridges. All right, Mikal Bridges. It has the league on notice, man. He is locking people down. 2 steal, 2 block game again today. Yeah, he had 5 fouls, but he used them wisely. Damn it! All right. At the end of the day, it was a tough night for Brandon Ingram, and Brandon Ingram he's been doing well. Like I like Brandon Ingram's passing. He creates some nice passing angles for his team, but minus 22 on the night for Brandon Ingram, the worst plus minus on his team, mostly because he was locked up by Mikal Bridges, who was 6 of 10 from the field, 14 points, 2-4 from 3 with 2 steals and 2 blocks. Really masterful defensive job by Mikal Bridges once again. He was making like an all defensive team bid for sure, especially with OG and Anunoby out.
I might definitely go further. I might say he's making a defensive player of the year case. I thought OG Anunoby was doing that before he got injured. I mean, now that Mikal Bridges is at least in the conversation for the best defender in the NBA. Imagine when they're both healthy and locked in. Scary hours. I don't give a damn who we didn't match up in the playoffs. I feel confident that Wingstop, now that we have a point of attack defender in either Shamet or McBride, those 2 guys are going to be locked in on whatever wing defender's off ball that the other team has. And I would put my money on Wingstop. I don't care what duo it is. Banchero, Wagner, it doesn't matter. Ivy and Thompson, doesn't matter. Like, we got some dogs on this team.
Yeah.
That's not even including Deuce and Shamet and Mitch. All these guys that are really solid defenders. Even Hart having a great defensive year. But Mikal Bridges, to me, man, it's like and the stats can be very eye-popping with, 2 steals and 1 block, or 2 steals, 2 blocks, whatever. Then that is earned. That's incredible stats. But at the same time, it's the one-on-one defense. It's the IQ, and it's being a vocal leader and commanding and reading the coverages and calling out the coverages and holding your teammates accountable. All of that, to me, he's making a serious case for defensive player of the year as well.
Nah, for sure. He's like the defensive quarterback for the team right now, where he's just like he's locking his own man down, telling everybody else where to go, and then he's also playing the passing lanes where he's always good for a breakaway steal or 2 a game, man. Like Mikal Bridges is he's just otherworldly right now. He F those picks forever. Screw those damn teenagers. I don't care how y'all feel about Mikal Bridges. I'll back that man. That man is a great player. And I also want to say too, like, speaking about the defense, like sometimes defense isn't just blocks and steals. Sometimes if you play good defense, that doesn't mean your man doesn't score. Like, I think people have to start to realize that too. You can play excellent defense and somebody can score on you. But like, depending on who it is, did you hold them? Did you hold them below their actual average? Did you make them work for it? Did you make it tough? Sometimes it's the offensive player's night. Like even AJ Green, that first half, AJ Green had multiple 3-point shots in that first half versus the Hornets. Mikal Bridges, for the most part, contested those shots. With the only one that I felt like wasn't really contested was maybe like a transition 3, I think. But I feel like Mikal Bridges did a good job helping and recovering versus the Hornets and contesting those shots from AJ Green. And he just hits them. And sometimes the great shooters just hit shots over you. And it doesn't mean you're not playing good defense. So I think sometimes people have to watch and realize just because they make the shot doesn't mean it was bad defense. And just because they missed the shot doesn't mean it's good defense. That's on the other side. Sometimes they miss the shot and you're like, well, that was a wide open shot. You just got lucky. So sometimes that happens too. All right. Ooh. Yeah. We cooking, man. Yo, before we go to the next topic, if you like the show, man, hit this like and subscribe. We have the Every Game Talking Knicks basketball. Also, super chats are welcome. It helps pay for all this StreamYard stuff that we use, and we gotta pay for that. It comes out the pocket. StreamYard is not cheap. All right, let me tell you that right now. It helps keep the lights on, so all your support is definitely appreciated. But salute to the chat. Shout out to picks for Timmy. Shout out to Fritz Alessandro, best mod in the game. Shout out to Bonner Lee, the best.
Yep.
Nick Yak, Glamour Knicks, Prezi the Boss, Robert Parrish, Stanley Novak. Everybody else is rocking with this show. If you're new to, who else?
Alexander, my main man.
Yo, Alexander was good. Alexander, Walter White. I ain't see Walter White, Mr. Breaking Bad here in a minute. And the grill. Knicks Nation. Shout out to my guy, Knicks Nation. That's my guy. If you're new to in the chat, let me know. Give you a shout out. All right. Is anything else you guys want to mention or you want to ask? Maybe you want to ask me a question. Sometimes you leave like, I want to ask you guys something.
This was the best Gerson Yabusele game. First of all, I thought this was one of the best defensive rotations games too. Like players knowing where to rotate. I thought, and that included Gerson Yabusele minutes. The minutes with Yabusele, I thought the switching and the rotating off of ball screens was chef's kiss. And you know what, Yabu? Maybe you lost 5 pounds and you can't see it. I've lost 7 pounds and no one's noticed it yet or brought it up on this show. So who knows?
Greatly.
Maybe the same. We need to lose 30 and you only lose 7. You can't really tell, you know. Yabusele looks a little slimmer and a little quicker laterally on those switches, and thought he kept his man in front of him at a decent amount. And what I really care about is closing out on the 3-point line, number 1, and 2. When you have a lone man at the rim, go up vertically, don't foul, and alter the shot. Make them have to shoot a difficult layup. And those 2 things, he's been better game to game. I think by playoff time, maybe he can be even more serviceable and be a part of the rotation in playoffs. That's the hope. Because as I've said multiple times, his role is so crucial to us winning a chip because on the bench, he's the only guy over 6'5". So it's absolutely paramount that we have him as that part of the rotation. Well, Mitch, yes, but I don't know if he's a starter or not yet. It's kind of undetermined. We need him, man. And I'm rooting for the guy too, because damn it. And when the most important games in the entire world, meaning the Olympics, my boy came through and he's a dog. So I want that type of personality on the Knicks bench when playoff time comes.
You know what? I knew the game tonight was a great game when I saw Yabu drive to the basket and kick it out to an open 3. That's when I knew. I was like, oh, you know what? Yeah, Yabu really feeling himself in this game. My dude actually dribbled to the basket and kicked it out to I forgot who it was for open 3. I was like, and that person scored it too. And I was like, oh, Yabu, you feeling like that, my guy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I see you.
Point Yabu. Mm-hmm. You know what I knew? I knew when he got the ball for the first basket and he hung in the air for like 2 or 3 seconds longer than I thought he would.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, he's still in the air?
Yeah.
Oh, he lost some weight. Oh, okay, cool. We about to have a good game. And then to Lee's point, his team defensive awareness, it just seems like it went up a lot. Specifically when he was covering for Josh Hart. I feel like there was a point in the game where Josh Hart got beat, and he, without thinking, immediately switched on to the guy, stopped the drive, and Josh Hart recovered to the other guy after he realized Yabusele had his back. I think even Josh Hart was surprised Yabusele was there that quick. He was like, wait, you got okay, my bad. He went to the other guy, and we got an actual stop. So Yabusele had 7 points. This is Knicks season high today. Hit a 3, and I think 2 buckets. More of this Yabusele, please, and thank you. All right. Is there anything else? I know you mentioned Mitch. Offensive rebounds was a beast. I feel like he was about to lose a lung today with playing bad. He looked tired as hell, but he's playing his little heart out with his 7 offensive rebounds.
I got one more person that I think deserves to be talked about, and that's the Predicate's main man, the Tylenol, Tyler Kolek.
Oh my gosh, how did I forget to talk about Ty? How did I forget to talk about that? Did you want to start?
The defense, again, team defense within the team scheme. I think he's rotating well. He's the closeouts. There were like 3 in the third and fourth quarters that were a tad late, like 1 or 2 seconds late. But I thought the effort was there. And he's not the fastest guy that we have in our backcourt, so I don't expect every closeout to be clean, efficient. But give effort. Let me see you trying. That's the same paradigm I have for Jalen Brunson, and he did. And I thought also his man-on-man, like being the last one in transition and having to guard the rim. Also, I would say above average tonight. The 3-ball, that is the most important thing I want to see on offense. Don't expect him to be someone that's scoring at the rim, or I know he has that mid-range fadeaway that he likes to go to as a last resort, but I just want him to be a great catch and shoot option, because if the pass isn't there, we're going to depend on that. Once he does throw the ball, if in the handoff he gets the ball back, if you can hit that 3 off that handoff or off a curl or a catch and shoot, then you can be a part of the rotation when it really matters. Whether that means end of a game, possibly in the playoffs, that's when hit a lot more production. But I like the trajectory for the first time in his entire Knicks career. I'm happy with the trajectory that he is showing us game to game and as the season goes on both sides of the ball, which is a surprise. The playmaking, man. He also got Cat in rhythm, and I'm happy for that. Like Cat, I think, finally got in a rhythm in the game when Kolek caught him twice on that seal in the paint when he was cutting on the baseline. I was like, bro, for someone who's struggling, and Cat, he needs those easy baskets to get his optimism up. And Kolek found him, and he was actively trying to find him too. So whatever play that is, run that shit like as soon as Kolek's with Cat, run it like 1 or 2 times every 4 or 5 possessions.
I was gonna ask. He was like, "You saw that?" I was like, "That's a new play, right, Lee?" Because Lee be noticing the plays. I mean, that's a new play, right, Lee? Because I don't think I ever seen the back screen for Cat for the alley oop. I don't think I ever seen that one. And they ran that back to back on some Drake stuff. Of course, the back to back Drake versus Toronto team. But yeah, they were that back to back, and it was successful 2 times in a row. So I'm like, okay, Tyronn with the alley oop. I'm loving what I'm seeing.
Definitely. And with Tyler Kolek's game, you already know he's an elite passer. The one thing that's missing on offense is, like Lee said, that 3-point shot. If he can become more consistent with that, that's going to take his game to the next level. And defensively, I'll be going back and forth with Tyler Kolek's defense, because at times I watch him play defense, especially within that team scheme, and I'm like, he's actually not doing that bad. I'm like, yo, he's actually a decent defender. And other times I'm just like, all right, he still needs work on that end of on that side of the ball. But overall, Tyler has shown that he is stepping up. It's into that backup point guard role, and you would just hope that he continues to develop as the season goes on. And and like I said, I already made my hot take the other day. I think that there will be a game in the playoffs where he'll be called on, and he's going to have a big game to propel Knicks to a win. And I wholeheartedly believe that. I believe in that. That's how much I believe in the kid, because he's shown me that he has the heart to play in big moments. So, you just hope that he just keeps on developing, and he really takes that backup point guard role for his own.
May I say one more thing, Jay?
Yeah.
What something Ryan said. I think in order for that to happen to Ryan, it has to be the minutes that he's paired with Cat. I think that's why Mike Brown has been purposeful, trying to have him with Cat or have him with Yabu, because if he's going to be there in the playoffs and he gets into a pick and roll, let's say with Mitchell Robinson, bro, they can just sag off Mitch, double, ice him out on the way to the rim, and he's even throwing up garbage or getting stuffed to the ground. But if Cat's there and Cat can slide back in that pick and pop and be a threat to shoot it if Kolek passes back to, because Kolek has that great overhead one-arm pass, that gives Kolek one-on-one coverage to the rim. And there are certain matchups he can win that one-on-one coverage and he can score around the rim. So in order for him to play in the playoffs, that pick and roll between him and Cat has to become perfected. I think he can do that. He has a handle for it, and he has the jump shot. What he needs to add to is a little bit of a push, like Emmanuel quickly. You have some type of floater or push shot to where if they do build a wall, he can resort to that and score in the lane. But Cat, to me, presents the best pick and roll option to him because of his spacing.
Is he gonna get the? Is he gonna get the time though? I feel like it might be rough for him to get time during the playoffs. So I ain't gonna hold you because this team is deep. It is deep. Like when Shamet comes back, I don't expect to see Tyron Wall back in the lineup when Shamet comes back. So like I feel like playoffs. I'm not sure if you're gonna see Tyron in the playoffs. I'm not gonna hold you unless somebody gets hurt or like nothing is working and you want to just try something else. So I'll be shocked if it happens. Hey, I'm happy for the kid. But it's like we got freaking our team is we a deep squad. We are a deep team. We got Mitch, we got Cat, we got OG, we got Mikal, we got Brunson. That's 5 already.
Chill, Fritz. Come on, man.
Then we got Shamet, Fritz.
I think Kolek, if Kolek has a player that's one of the top 3 in Cat, that his pick and roll or his tandem on offense is elite, then he has to play minutes because that becomes one of our best options offensively. And if Shamet comes back, Bridges could end up taking Yabu's minutes at the 4 because Bridges has been pretty damn effective at the 4 spot. That's a Cat as well. So you could see some where Shamet's minutes are not affecting Kolek. It's Yabu's minutes where Yabu is now giving him the extra 9 or 7 that he's getting the game. That's possible too. So Yabu has the fires under his ass as well to keep playing well and keep hitting that corner 3 and keep boxing out and rebounding.
You think Yabu is gonna be man? I'm gonna be shocked. Yeah, that's a 6. I'll be shocked. I don't know, man.
I'm speaking from the standpoint of sometimes playoffs can be unpredictable. Like you may have your set 8 or set 9-man rotation, whatever the case may be in the playoffs, but sometimes situations call for a change up in the lineup or whatever the case may be, depending on how a game is going, depending on matchups and things of that nature. So that's why I was like, that's why I didn't go all the way off the edge and be like, he's gonna have, a spectacular series or whatever the case may be. That's why I said one game. Because sometimes that one game comes along when that typical 8-9-man rotation you may have in the playoffs isn't working and you need to try something different. And then that's when you switch it up a bit and that player you bring in and actually ends up giving a boost to the team. So that's what I'm more implying. I'm not saying that Kolek is going to hold down, I know that's rotation, consistent rotation minutes in the playoffs. I'm just talking about one game where things might not be going right for the Knicks. And Mike Brown wants to switch it up, and then he puts Kolek into the game, and then when he comes to the game, he makes an impact.
Like Dante West did for us.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'm too used to seeing Tibbs play in the playoffs. Well, I'm just like, when is this going to happen? We'll see. We gonna see when the playoff time comes. My gosh. Shout out Fritz.
Fritz, my main man.
You know what? Thank you, Fritz, for reminding me. Speaking of Landry Shamet, all right? Landry Shamet, man, he's been walking around kind of free lately. All right, Fritz? Free. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's supposed to be reevaluated for weeks, you know what I mean? And we noticed by the pictures that there's nothing cumbering his shoulders, which is a good sign, because usually when the Knicks make a report and it's like, strained shoulder sprain, I'm just like, I'm on my things that make you go moments. I'm thinking they lying because we already seen how when Julius Randle injured his shoulder, how they lied about that. So when they said that, I wasn't really buying it. But seeing Shamet with the team walking around free shoulder, I'm like, all right. I can see it coming. I can see him coming back sooner rather than later. So I'm hopeful that he'll come back maybe January. I'm thinking. I'm hoping.
And
Yeah. And also in other injury related news, OG Anunoby has started controlled 3-on-3 workouts.
hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I think it's almost been, how long he's supposed to be out? I think he said 2 weeks. Was supposed to be, was it 2 weeks or 4 weeks? Was he supposed to be with his hamstring?
Didn't they say it was going to be reevaluated after 2 weeks? I think.
Did he say reevaluated after 2 weeks? We can double check that.
Fritz, can you tell me what the estimated time frame is in the chat?
Let's see.
Fritz is reporting live and direct. Reevaluate after 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
It's been 2 weeks.
Okay, so reevaluate after 2 weeks. That was November 14th.
Yes,
It's pretty much 2 weeks. Yeah, pretty much 2 weeks. And he's doing 3-on-3 work. So maybe he'll be back this week or next week. I would say 2 weeks tops. He'll be back, I would think, if he's already playing 3-on-3.
Just as a heads up on what we have, we got Celtics on Tuesday, back-to-back, Hornets the following day on Wednesday, Friday, Utah, Sunday, Orlando Magic.
Okay. I would hope he's back before the Utah game. I just want him to get some rust off.
Yeah.
I want to get some rust off because Orlando is a long day. You know what I'm saying? Wagner is a long day. I want to get him some rust off versus Utah. Run around a few times, get the hamstring confident. You know what I mean?
Right.
All right, yo. Is there anything else you guys want to mention before we get into the other parts of the show?
I'm pretty much good to go.
Good to go through. Yo, shout out to my guy Cater, yo. Let's go here. All right, yo. You got bro picks today?
I got one bro pick. I wasn't able to, go across the league and really see, where the bro picks were, but there was one that caught my eye today, and it was after the Timberwolves and the Celtics game. Rudy Gobert went up to Jalen Brown, who's been the hair sauce thief, around the league, leaving his hair sauce mark everywhere around the league. He left on an OG Anunoby's jersey. He left on a Ron Holland's jersey. He left it on Keyshawn George jersey. Like, my man has left his mark across the league. And Rudy Gobert went up to Jalen Brown after the game, and he was like, "You need to go bald like me. You need to let it go, my guy."
Oh, that's a cool pick. That is a solid word of advice, brother. All right. Go bald, my guy. It's time.
Yes, it's about time. and the thing, dude had braids like 2-3 years ago, and now all of a sudden my dude's balded already. Like, what's going on? Like,
hey man, 25, man. 25 is not what it used to be, bro.
Guess not.
Guess not. It's all right, man. As long as you have, you know what? I'm gonna not say that because I can already see the Pause Warriors coming out. I'm gonna keep that comment to myself.
After my zesty comment, bro, you cannot do that. Cannot outdo that one.
It was close. It was close. That's why I pulled it back. All right. All right, yo. Yo, what up to my guy JT Riddick, yo? All right. That is the show. Thank you guys for watching. For those who enjoyed the show, I see y'all guys are enjoying the show because I can see the retention. I can see people watching, so I know y'all enjoying the show.
Crazy.
Yeah, the chat is lit. Shout out to the chat. Yo, if you're new in the chat, say what's up. Just hit that subscribe and say new. I feel like I only have subscribers who can say anything. So that means everybody the chat is live right now, all the people live right now are actually subscribed to the channel. So y'all deep right now. So shout out to you guys. But if you're new subscriber, hit me with the new and I can shout you out.
Shout out Felicia Lee, icon.
Yeah, shout out to Felicia Lee. Shout out to the ladies of KOT because it's like 4 of y'all.
They all know ball.
Yeah,
all
man.
Yep, all of them.
All
of
of
them.
them. Man, holding it down for the ladies. Shout out to the ladies of KOT. All right. Felicia, Glamour, 2 Knicks chicks be here sometimes. All of them no ball. Shout out to you guys. All right.
And of course, B and Ebony.
Hell yeah.
Mhm. Of course, B and Ebony. That goes without saying, B and Ebony. I said been subscribed, but first time locking in. Okay. Oh, we okay. Okay. We like that. You first time locking in and chilling with us in the chat. We like that. Hashtag dude. Shout out to Triple M278. Welcome to the squad, brother.
Oh, that's my homie on Twitter.
Yeah, okay. Shout out to Cat.
Listen, Triple M, what's up? What's up, baby? Man, good to see you, man.
Yeah.
Saw you shout out on Twitter. Appreciate you, bro.
Yo, and shout out to the Predicate. Predicate's been holding us down. Shout out to the Predicate's been holding us down on multiple platforms.
Talk about someone who knows ball.
Yeah.
Some of my most intense debates are with the Predicate. I'd be, man, that's my A. I'd bring my A game when I debate with the Predicate. My man knows ball. Sometimes he'd be running circles around me, man. That's a real OG right there. Salute.
Yo, shout out to Predicate. Shout out to Cad Bolo 02. Shout out to Just Knicks. I see you, man. Everybody rock with the show, man. We definitely appreciate you for sure.
Salute, New York.
Shout out to Spider-Man. Peter Parker. All right, yo. That's the show. Thank you guys for watching. Lee, let them know where they can find you, sir.
At _Lee Escobedo, LEEESCOBEDO. Took some time off for Thanksgiving. We'll definitely be back on the Substat game. We'll try to have something out for this week. Yeah, man. Make sure you follow and subscribe to the Substat. We'll be doing good work. Worked with Mike Murphy on an article for him. Would love to have Ryan G on the Substat as well before the year's over, if he's available to do it. Would love to have his voice on there. Yeah, man. Come and find me. Come and debate me. I got the time.
Yo, shout out to Mike. Hold on. Yo. Special shout out to Mike Murphy, man. Special shout out to Mike Murphy. I have so much respect for you, dude.
Same.
I have so much respect for you because for those you don't know, KOT, we were one of the first people to actually have like the like a actual blog with writers, and we transitioned out from that. But even when we did transition out from having we do have a blog, we have a Substack now. It's kind of transitioned to something else. But even when we didn't have it, Mike Murphy has still been kind of holding us down. And I'm looking at, so I appreciate that from you, Mike Murphy. I appreciate that. Like, oh, it's not like, oh, you're not doing the business no more, so F you. And it's like, nah, he's been still super supportive. So shout out to Mike Murphy as well. All right.
Great dude. He's actually dealing with some health issues right now. So please lift him up in prayer. Also, I'm so glad I had a chance to remember this. Shout out E, my main man, Jesus Mata on Twitter, said that E is coming home from the hospital dealing with the cancer that she's been struggling with for the last couple months. I know all of Nit's Twitter have been praying. Guys post about her coming home. I just want to make sure that we continue to shout her out and lift her up in prayer. Great to hear that. Man, talk about an example what a real man looks like is a husband that is there by his wife while she's dealing with cancer, like a serious disease. That to me is a real man, not all this other red pill BS, but someone who stands by his lady and protects her and lifts her up and is there for her on bended knee while she can't do it herself is an amazing example.
Nah, that's a fact. First rule of being a man, protect. First rule.
Facts.
and I don't mean fighting either. I mean, it can mean fighting, but it doesn't mean fighting.
Sometimes
it doesn't mean just fighting, is what I'm saying. All right. Protecting your emotions, protecting their peace. Protection is one of the number one rules of being a man. All right. Yeah. That is the show. Thank you guys for watching. Lee, let them know they can find you, sir.
Oh, I already did. That was right. My spiel lasted like 10 minutes.
My bad. Ryan, G, let them know they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter at RyanGKOT. You can also find me on Instagram at Sir G is chillin'.
Sir G is chillin'.
SIRG is CHILLIN.
All right. You can find me at the KOT show on Twitter, the Nick of Time show on Instagram, and the Nick of Time show on Facebook as well. All right. that is the show. Damn good show. I enjoyed this one. Thank you guys for watching. And as always, hold on. My music down. Hold on. And wait. And as always,
shout out the worldwide west. Everywhere we go, we leave a worldwide mess.
It's a mess out here in these Knicks streets. That's the show. We out of here.
Peace.
New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.